Yep, pleased to meet you and welcome to Michigan. I just wanted to present a few of the Michigan candidates. This is your Senate candidate. This is Mr. Doug Marsh. He's been dying to meet you, so we're so glad you two can meet.
Okay, good to meet you.
Okay.
Great.
Real quick, Dr. Stein, we heard your awesome speech here at the Cultural Center in Dearborn, Michigan today, and we wanted to ask you, going into the last days of the campaign, three questions. We know your rhetoric on Gaza is on point, but also because I've heard you in previous speeches, like on the Breakfast Club, where you talked about how even Democrat and Republican working class people, who some of our candidates have been running on the UBI issue, the Universal Basic Income issue. And we wanted to ask you, going into the final days, will you include the UBI issue of working class people getting a $1,000 check, because this is what the Michigan Greens have been proposing, of getting a $1,000 check if they make $75,000 a year less, as well as the reparations issues, because going into the final weekend, we know we love and support you. We're looking to do a big Go TV vote.
Great.
And we wanted to get your opinion firsthand on those three issues: the Gaza issue, universal basic income, and reparations, as we're heading into this closing final days of the campaign.
Yeah, absolutely, all of the above. And in our agenda right now, we call for universal basic income above the poverty level. And exactly what that amounts to in different states, is subject to discussion. But absolutely, we think that everyone is entitled to, an income to keep a family out of poverty. We should be spending our resources on, on the security of our families rather than on endless war around the world, and genocide, which is endangering us. So absolutely, on endless war, on Gaza, definitely. And the third issue
was the cash reparations, because as there's been that big issue going on in debate and talking about here. We have our long-term reparations, Anita, Belle in the Greens as well, who loves you.
It's so good to see you,
it's so good to see you.
I had a picture ready to show you, too. She's gone now, but she would be so proud of you.
Oh, how sweet. That's awesome.
But as you know, those issues are very big.
Oh, definitely.
And I know, based on your interview with the Breakfast Club, we know you've got the ear now of the black community. And what would you like to say to them going into these final days? Those who have been voting blue no matter who for so many years.
Yes.
And we found the divide is generational now. In the past, it would be older black folks who would just be diehard Democrats. But now that you've got their ear, what would you say directly to the black community as well, why this would be the year to consider going from blue to green?
Absolutely. I'd say take a listen to the Breakfast Club and also look at the comments, which are almost universally declaring independence from the Democratic Party. In fact, so many African Americans were not going to vote at all. And it's enough time spent being taken for granted, being told that you owe your vote to the Democrats, and what do you get for it? Some black faces in high places, if I can quote my running mate. Yes, and what good does that do you? On the Breakfast Club, where the proponents of Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris herself, they won't talk about reparations. No. They won't talk about the debt that's owed to African Americans who built this country, who built the economy, who have, not to mention, who sacrificed life and limb, for centuries. No, they won't talk about black genocide whatsoever, or indigenous genocide for that matter, nor redlining, nor continuing, the war on drugs being a war on African American communities, the lack of housing, the disparities in education. It is a sentence that takes years off of your life to be black in this country, and the disparity in age. Just like longevity is like 3 years. 3 years taken off your life just for living while black. Living while black. And then in this country. And if you add to that disparities in education, which are huge because education is funded by the property tax rather than by national support. We need to equalize funding across all communities and bring everybody up to a common floor. But that adds another, last I saw, 10 years to the time taken off of lifespan. Wow. So this is, as Martin Luther King said, health injustice is the worst injustice of all. It absolutely is. And this is fixable. We know by moving to a Medicare for All system, for example, we cover everyone comprehensively, including chronic care and home care, so we can take care of our elders at home.
Great comment. One of our Greens has proposed a 4-year sin tax on Wall Street for their role, along with the banking, the insurance, and the railroad industries, as the modern industries that we know of today is based off of chattel slavery. 1726, Thomas Woolley, the original founder of the New York Stock Exchange, they were selling black bodies. So these corporations, that kind of thing, going in that direction because last
to fund,
year,
that's a great idea.
1.86 million transactions on the New York Stock Exchange.
That's right. Yeah.
$4 sin tax was put up on those corporations. That could literally raise $10 trillion a year. For 4 years, over $40 trillion. Enough to fund reparations, universal basic income, all of the social programs. These type of ideas coming out of the Michigan Green Party and Green Parties in general, are these ideas that your campaign is looking at adopting and incorporating into the national campaign?
Yes, absolutely. And, we have various funding mechanisms that we discuss, like a wealth tax and so on, cutting the military, saving $500 billion a year by moving to Medicare for All. But I'm always interested in tax initiatives that both, that both create tax justice, because right now we do not have tax justice, and those who are gaining the most from the system are taking most advantage of it and not paying in. So I would love to hear more about whatever numbers you are crunching around this, sin tax.
That's great.
Yeah.
And we have our website, of course, MichiganGreens.org.
Okay, great.
We also have candidates. Mr. Marsh here. You want to give your information?
Yeah.
www.electmarsh.us.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so
that's easy enough.
We're standing with you because he's going to be on the ballot beneath you. When folks are looking at
that's great.
Dr. Ware and yourself. But
Terrific.
finally, Dr. Stein, because of all the hard work that you do here in Michigan, we're a creative bunch here too. One of our members actually created and founded a board game called Duopoly. And we today want to present you with the first official copy.
This is so awesome. Duopoly.
So when
the
you
game
and
of division, money,
when
and control.
Dr.
I
Ware and
love
Kelly
it.
and yourself on the road, you all can play this game and relax.
Yes.
We honor you and we welcome you with that. So thank you for letting us present that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Here, let's put this.
Yes. It's called Duopoly. Very good stuff. All right. Thank you. Thank you,
so
Dr. Stein.
much.
Appreciate you much.
We will
Thank you, sir.
cherish
Appreciate
this.
you.
Yes.
All right.